My worst gig ever is entitled "The Day That I Upset Pat Sharp off Funhouse." Okay, so last year I had a book published called Radiohead, Up and Down the Dial of British Radio. And the idea of the book was it was about lots of different radio stations. So I wrote about kind of all the radio stations you get, from like Radio 1 to community stations, from Classic FM to kind of BBC Radio Humberside. And I thought, well as writing about these radio stations, why don't I write about people that I really like in radio? So I interviewed Mark Radcliffe and Nicholas Parsons and Stuart McConey and the editor of the Radio Times, and lots of really exciting people. But the first person I interviewed, at the request of Tim Clare, who you may remember, he said you should interview Pat Sharp, and so I did. I thought it was a really good suggestion. I wanted my book to be a mixture of kind of quite serious, interesting kind of debate about the future of British radio, and also more esoteric matters like what Pat Sharp can offer. And so I thought, well, I wonder how easy it is to get in touch with Pat Sharp. So I kind of went online and I found out that he was at a really small local Cambridge station, and he had an email address on the website, and so I sent him an email and said, I don't know if this is going to get to you, but I'm writing a book about British radio, and I'd be really interested to talk to you and to find out what you think about British radio at the moment, and about British radio in the 21st century, and also about your history in radio, because you might remember Pat Sharp as being that fella from Funhouse and children's ITV, writing programs, but mainly he was on like British radio for the last 20 years. He was on Capital and Heart and Radio 1, and so I sent him this email saying, my name's John Osborne, I'm writing this book. I'd like to talk to you if you can spend me 20 minutes. And I got an email back, but the email back was so quick that I was a bit disappointed, and I thought, well, obviously it doesn't work at that station anymore, it's obviously bounced back. But I opened it up and it's from Pat Sharp. He said, hello John, why don't you call me tomorrow between 3 and 3:30? Okay. And so I did. I phoned him the next day at 3 o'clock, and we talked for about 20 minutes. It was really interesting, talking like debating about British radio and who he liked best, and about commercial radio. And that night I phoned Tim Clare, who you may remember, and he said, how's your book about radio going? And I was like, it's really good actually. Today I interviewed Pat Sharp. And I told him about how quickly the email had come back, and I was like, I felt really bad actually, because I emailed him and said, can I phone you up and reminisce about stuff that used to happen? And he emailed back straight away. And I said to Tim, as a joke, I think Pat Sharp's really lonely. And Tim laughed so loudly that it hurt my ear on the phone. I was like, and so I had to hold the phone away from me while he laughed. And I was like, I know he's still laughing. No, he's still laughing. The other way a bit like this. Finally get a word in. And he's like, well, maybe you should write a poem called I Think Pat Sharp is Lonely. And so I did. And I did a few gigs, just kind of local gigs around Norwich. They were quite nice. It was quite a nice poem, I thought. Like, people quite liked it. And then because I was lucky enough to be part of R16, we went to kind of Glastonbury and Latitude and Camp Bethnal, and lots of different quite cool gigs and big gigs. And I performed the poem more and more. And in the end, I performed the poem like its height was at Latitude Festival 1 o'clock in the morning, when in front of 700 people, and I saw 3 girls at the front kind of joining in, and I was like, wow, this is my angels. I think Pat Sharp is lonely. It's like my Hey Jude. And I started to get emails from people saying, can you send me that? Like, I can't find that poem online. Can you email me the words that I think Pat Sharp is lonely? I think it's amazing. And, okay. And people were coming up to me and saying, like after gigs and at festivals, going, oh, it's the guy that did the Pat Sharp poem. And I at Latitude, I bought a burger from a man at a burger van, and he was like, no, you don't have to pay me. Whatever you want, you can have for free. I see you do that Pat Sharp page. It's quite exciting. And then don't laugh so loudly, Ross, because a few months later, Ross was teaching in Norwich, where I live, and he stayed over at my house, and I told him about, we went to the pub, and I told him about this email that I'd been sent from someone that had seen me do the Pat Sharp poem. And he said, oh, have you seen this YouTube video? It's like a dubstep mashup of like, it's 3 minutes long, and it's like loads of Pat Sharp, like there's really quick Pat Sharp things of like a montage of like his career basically, within 3 minutes. He's like, why don't you take the dubstep out and put your poem over there? And I said that to Ross, and he was like, oh, that'd be really easy to do. Like, if you just go back to your house, I've got my computer with me, we could do it in about like 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, and so that's what we did, and it was brilliant. The combination of the like amazing video that already existed, and my poem and Ross's editorial skills meant it was a really funny video. Like Ross managed to get it so that there was a little kid smashing a water balloon with a hammer at the same time as the word loneliness. What more can you want? So we watched it and we put it online, and we were so proud of ourselves. We thought it was so funny. And Pat Sharp emailed me the next day, and he wasn't very happy. And the worst thing about it was how inevitable it was. Like the reason that all of these people had emailed me and said, can you send me that poem online? Like that Pat Sharp poem, I've not been able to find it online. It's because I've been so careful about hiding it from the internet. I thought, well, I could put it on my blog page, or I could put it on the R16 website, but Pat Sharp will find it and I'll have to explain myself. But somehow, like, I performed the poem so many times that I forgot that it was a little bit nasty and a little bit sinister, and it was called, I think, Pat Sharp is Lonely, which isn't very nice. If someone wrote a poem called I think John Osborne is lonely, like, I just think that's quite well observed. Pat Sharp was a big guy, and so I had to email Ross and say, I think you should take that YouTube video down, and then email Pat Sharp. Like, he was really angry. I think it's probably like breaking some laws if I tell you the email that Pat Sharp sent me, but the email that I replied back to him went something like, hello Pat, I'm really sorry that you found this poem. It must have been a really strange thing to find, and I acknowledge that it's really, really out of order. I should never have written it. It should certainly have never found itself online. Ross Sutherland will take it off. Like, if I was going down, Ross would track me down Ross Sutherland. It wasn't his birthday at the time. And I was like, I'm genuinely sorry. It wasn't about you. It was about the nature of fame, and it was just that. Like, I appreciate that this isn't a good enough explanation, but it was kind of about people getting older. And I said, I really genuinely hope that you can accept my apology. And Pat Sharp emailed me back. Not quite so quickly this time. He learned his lesson. But so now how Pat Sharp replied, he said, hello John, apology accepted, all the best, Pat. Like, don't be nice, Pat Sharp, I don't deserve this. Like, I genuinely acknowledge that I did a really, really horrible thing, and like the worst thing was, like, I knew how bad it was. I hadn't meant it to get this far. I meant to write a poem that would make Tim Clare laugh, not to make Pat Sharp sad. And so me and Pat Sharp and I exchanged a few emails, and he basically said, it's childish. It's not funny, and it's offensive. I was like, well, it's quite funny, but it's childish and offensive. And I said, and he said, I really suggest that you never perform it again. And I was like, oh, but this, like I've performed this over 50 times. Like, Pat Sharp has no idea how little material I have. I said, well, I would love to perform this again, but I acknowledge that I deserve a punishment. And so I replied back to Pat Sharp and said, you're completely right, I am never going to perform this poem again. As much as I would like to, I've had lots of opportunities to do since, and I just thought, I'm not going to do this. That is the punishment that I deserve. But then I thought, just because I've made the promise to Pat Sharp that I'm not going to do the poem again, doesn't mean that my friends don't know. Welcome backstage, Luke White's there.
So, people of homework would like to perform to you a poem called, I think, Pat Sharp is lonely. Pat Sharp! The children of the 80s remember you as fondly as fish fingers for tea, as football games at playtime, as being told our teacher was off ill, so instead of a normal lesson, we could watch a video. Pat Sharp, I don't know much about you, but Wikipedia tells me you reached number 7 with a charity single called I Haven't Stopped Dancing Yet. You directed some episodes of Rainbow. There's a clip of you interviewing Gary Newman on YouTube. And I know you are loads better than Neil Buchanan. But I worry your career peaked too soon.
We all remember Funhouse. It was brilliant. Blonde twins dressed as cheerleaders, kids racing in go-karts. The 80s were a bouncy castle, and Pat Sharp, you were its king. If you ever fell, you were sure to fall on foam. And I bet you remember the good times. That when the studio audience had gone home, you and the twins would have fun. Blonde hair, disappearing underneath the ball pool. Parties at Andy Peters' house. Meat and Toby Anstis for lunch. But it's a long time since you presented Top of the Pops and What's Up Doc and had a show on Radio 1. It's alright for Gordon the Gopher and Ed the Duck. They don't exist. But you are a man, forced to accept modern life. You are typecast like a Soda Stream or a C90 cassette, fondly remembered but completely obsolete.
TV companies must be unwilling to use you because your aging face reminds us of our own mortality. We are all hurtling towards old age and don't need you to remind us of when we were young, sat cross-legged in front of the TV, all our hopes and dreams ahead of us that we had no idea we would never achieve. Pat Sharp, you must hate the 21st century. You present the drive time show on a local Cambridge radio station, but I don't imagine many people listen.
I know you appear at student nights. Because once in Coventry, my friend Gobby licked your face when he was drunk. Which must be pretty humiliating. I know these gigs are well paid, but is it really worth it as student after student after student says, hey, it's the Pat Man, and where's your mullet gone, and I used to fancy them two twins. Pat Sharp, I think you are lonely. I think you spend too much time remembering the day when you were stood centre stage at the Smash Hits Pole Winners Party, presenting an award to Lisa Stansfield.